केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
The Newshour Special Edition.
Good evening and a very warm welcome. Thank you for joining us here on Times Now Live. You're watching the Newshour Special Edition. I'm Pratibha Chandran. In just a few hours from now, we will know who is going to govern the 5 states, the 4 states and 1 union territory. And we're going to be speaking about each one after the other. But let's begin with Tamil Nadu. There has been a lot of interest over what's going to happen in Tamil Nadu. Who will govern Tamil Nadu for the next 5 years? Will M.K. Stalin return to power, or will the debutant Vijay script a stunning upset? Will the DMK and Congress stay together as alliance partners, or are we also looking at a political reset within Tamil Nadu? The big question is Vijay, the actor turned Neta, the politician that Tamil Nadu has been waiting for after the era of Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi? The entry of Vijay's TVK has made the battle for Tamil Nadu a triangular fight, something that we have not witnessed in the last several decades. Vijay is emerging as the X factor, and for good reason. Let's tell you all about what can be expected. Let's also talk about the voter turnout. It has been historic. A massive 84.5% of the voters cast their ballots across 234 constituencies on the 23rd of April. So let's talk about what that actually means. This is the highest voter turnout ever. In the past, such bumper turnouts have often signaled a shift in power. Is it going to be the same this time around, or is there more? Let's get you the details of what it actually indicates. Apart from that, we also talk about Vijay, who actually enjoys immense popularity among the youth. Let's take a look at some of the numbers. Let's do some number crunching over the course of the next 1 hour. We're going to be talking about every state. In Tamil Nadu in 2011, this was the number. 78.01 was the voter turnout, and the outcome was, of course, a change of government with the AIADMK displacing the DMK. And then in 2016, it was close to 75%. What was the outcome? The government continued. The AIADMK retained power. And then again, when we saw in 2021, 73.63%, there was a change in government. It was the DMK that came to power in 2021. And now you have 84.5%. Big voter turnout. What does it indicate? Is it the Vijay factor? Is it because of the SIR? These questions still remain, and we're going to get the answers of all of this tomorrow, just a few hours to go. But let's take a look at why Vijay is being spoken of as the X factor. Now, Vijay is said to have had a very big impact with the youth. And now, why is the Gen Z or the youth going to decide the outcome of Tamil Nadu? Let's get you the details. 20% of the entire electorate is in the age group of 18 to 29, which means they are a very significant voter group. So first-time voters are 12.51 lakh, and there are multiple surveys that say the absolute first-time voters who have not even voted in the Lok Sabha elections, who have voted this time, very first time in Tamil Nadu, favor Vijay. That is what many of the polls have said. Are these polls true or not? Of course, we will know tomorrow. So this is what Vijay is actually banking on. Apart from the youth factor, there's also the women factor. Now, remember, in Tamil Nadu, the women voters outnumber the men voters. And Vijay has made promises to the women. He has a certain star power, seen to have sway with the women voters. There are 2.89 crore women voters in Tamil Nadu, which is over 50%, which means there are more women voters than the male voters in Tamil Nadu. And with minorities as well, and this is going to be very crucial, which way will the vote actually go for Vijay? Is he going to split the DMK vote? What does it mean for the DMK? Because there are 12% minorities, 86.47 lakh minorities. Which way it goes will actually be a big force in the election. Apart from that, Vijay is said to have quite an impact with the urban voters as well, especially in regions like Chennai, where in 2021 elections, the DMK had a clean sweep. Can the TVK eat into those votes? 3.5 crore voters. That is going to be interesting to see whether he is able to dent the urban voters or not. So this is what Vijay is actually banking on. What does it indicate? What do we see tomorrow? Let's talk about that. Joining us on the broadcast, let me introduce Shehzad Poonawalla, national spokesperson of the BJP. We have Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist on the broadcast with us, Nilanjan Das, political analyst, Akashdeep Muni, political analyst, and Rasheed Kidwai ji, senior journalist, as well as Rahul Gandhi, advocate and national spokesperson of the DMK. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to begin with Mr. Shekhar Iyer on what can be expected tomorrow. Over the last few weeks and perhaps even months, everyone has been talking about the Vijay factor, the one factor, that's the X factor. Not many know what the impact could be. Will he be king, the kingmaker, or just a disruptor?
Well, definitely is going to be, having an impact that will completely change the course of Tamil Nadu politics, no matter who wins or who loses. But with this exit polls giving various scenarios, one really wonders what is the kind of impact that Vijay's campaign, and mind you, this campaign, by all standards we have seen political campaigns, was not something an established party would do. He could not himself address more than 14 public shows. Even attempted road shows were given up midway, number one. Number two, the way he went about selecting candidates, that itself was very unique. Normally parties undertake, much long, deliberate kind of constituency-wise. Probably some agency could have done it for him. But I did not see much of a political kind of thing by the party itself, because the party is a fledgling. Third, every party, first sets about a kind of an organizational base right up to the booth level. I wonder whether TVK or Vijay himself had that kind of time to have people but yet we have seen a tremendous frenzy. We have seen wherever he did manage to go. People wanting to come. Is it all because of his cinematic image?
Yes.
Or is it something else? Is the youth wanting some change? Are the people tired of both DMK and ADMK? They have seen both of them. Are they looking for something else? And is Vijay being there to show the people that these Dravidian models claimed both by DMK and ADMK are, past their date, expiry date. So these are several questions that are there, but still the answer, can really Vijay become CM? That is a question that has, which some of the exit polls have shown.
Yes. In fact, some of the exit polls have given him a very clear edge. Is that surprising or not? Now, he has portrayed himself as a savior, a man who is taking on the system. It's also a very carefully curated image. It started from his movies, continued in his political speeches as well. He was taking on the system. But can that actually translate into votes? That's the biggest question. And if it does actually translate into votes, can it also translate into seats? That question still remains. So Vijay is going to be definitely one factor to watch out for. But before I delve further, we're already seeing, even before the results have come in, it looks like it has had an impact in the political circles. Because initially we heard even the DMK leaders just saying he's just an actor. This entertainment is going to end on the voting day. Now there are allies of the DMK as well who are coming out to say that no, Vijay is actually a factor. So let's take a look at what has happened, how the allies of the DMK have also spoken about this and what this actually means. What could happen tomorrow? Is this an indication that the parties are also looking at maybe tomorrow there could be a surprise? Because remember, DMK sources have indicated that the DMK is seriously considering a post-election split, and they're also exploring the possibility of new opposition front, which means the India bloc might see some changes. They're considering a front with Kejriwal, Mamata Banerjee and Jagan. So there could be bigger repercussions. And let's also take a look at how the Congress leaders, many of them have also come out praising Vijay. And we saw this happen, remember, even before the seat sharing had been finalized. So on the questions on what Vijay's entry actually means, as far as the votes are concerned, we'll know tomorrow. Seats also we'll know tomorrow. But I want to bring in Rasheed Kidwai ji here. What do you think this means for the Congress party? Because it looks like for the Congress, there were a lot of rumors that there could be talks between the two, but that didn't seem to have happened. And now is the Congress party going to regret this?
It depends, Pratibha, what kind of verdict we are going to get tomorrow. If Fort William, that being Bengal, Calcutta goes with Mamta's way, and Fort George with the DMK, then of course the Congress will be the biggest loser, because they're going to be realignment among the India alliance, and Akhilesh Yadav, Kejriwal, Mamta Banerjee, and Stalin are going to come together, and Rahul Gandhi will get marginalized in a sense. But we don't know what is in store. But there is a lot of bad blood. You are spot on when you say that there is a lot of bad blood between the DMK and the Congress. A section of the Congress, including Rahul Gandhi, seem to be having second thoughts and having a tinge of regret why they did not align with Vijay. So this thought, the DMK knows, so DMK is going to decide its future strategy, keeping in mind Rahul Gandhi's reluctance to even greet M.K. Stalin on his birthday, and the fact that his party, particularly the Tamil Nadu unit, very actively considered Vijay as an option.
Okay, and Shehzad, what would it mean for the BJP? Because BJP has been working very consistently to make its space in Tamil Nadu. It has spoken of a non-Dravidian front, but went with the AIADMK. There was a space that the BJP was looking at. With Vijay coming in, is that space forever lost for the BJP?
No, since you said that Vijay is an X factor, he is an X factor, but he is going to make DMK the X government. And he is going to make DMK and Congress X allies. That's the only X factor that is happening. I agree that there is a lot of phenomenon for Vijay. He's Thalaiva, he's a superstar. So there's a lot of sentiment gathering that is happening, but I don't think it is going to translate into seats. And therefore what will happen is that even if there is an average Vijay fan who feels disgusted by what DMK has done, he's going to be shouting Vijay, Vijay, but when he goes and sees the option, how do I remove DMK, on which Mr. Vijay has been speaking, ADMK. So I in fact think that Vijay's supporters would have gone and chosen the more conventional alliance to remove the DMK, which is the ADMK. So you will see tomorrow that there are going to be 4 normal elections. So 4 normal elections means Tamil Nadu, normally DMK ke baad ADMK is coming with us. Then you have Kerala, where I think UDF should at least come. Puducherry, you will see the NDA to continue. Assam, BJP will continue. And in Bengal will be the only outlier where there will be a change of power.
Okay, all right.
Change of trend.
You mentioned Bengal. We'll come to Bengal in just a moment. But when we speak about Tamil Nadu, there have been several reports that say that Vijay wanted to be in an alliance with the Congress party. That may not have worked out. But Vijay is open to the idea of allying with the Congress or the AIADMK. But where does that leave the BJP? Is BJP going to be a loser here, where it has been trying for several years consistently to make a space for itself in Tamil Nadu? Because Vijay has said very clearly that he is against the BJP ideologically. So is there a possibility that that could happen?
Look, essentially this fight was pivoted against the DMK. So I think that apart from the DMK, that's his main enemy. I don't want to prejudge anything because we are anyways going to be forming the government with the ADMK. But we'll count the chickens when the time comes. I mean, right now is not the time for me to speculate what will happen.
But today my friend Shehzad Punewala is in a very generous mood. In one hand, you see, he has predicted a UDF victory in Kerala. Which is, of course, very, I would say, generous on his part, coming from the political affiliation he has. And the second thing, he is saying that in spite of Vijay's very open kind of, dislike or disassociation with the BJP and the ideology it represents, Mr. Shehzad
No, I'm personally a Vijay fan. I'm personally a Vijay fan.
Yeah. So
I'm personally a very big Vijay fan.
So you're showing a lot of flexibility today.
I'm personally a very big Vijay fan.
Okay, all right. That's very interesting, because even if you speak to the DMK leaders, even though Vijay has attacked the DMK, many of them say, I'm personally a fan of his movies, but he's not going to do well politically. So all the political leaders have been very cautious and really criticizing Vijay. What is the reason for that? That's the question. If we look at the numbers from the Axis My India poll, it actually shows that Vijay may be eating into the AIADMK vote more than the DMK vote. Now, many have raised questions on the method with which the entire exit poll was done, but of course, we'll know the answers tomorrow. But to say that Vijay can actually be in a position where he will be very close to forming the government or be in power in Tamil Nadu, that's what Axis My India has predicted. Can that actually happen? It's actually a very uphill task for him. So let's take a look at some Firewall seats. These are seats where the DMK has won in either the last 2 or even the last 3 elections. So let's take a look at these numbers and why it's not actually going to be very easy for Vijay. He may have popularity, yes, but does he have the ground strength to ensure that these votes actually come to him? Now, look at these numbers. In 2011, it was the AIADMK that came to power. Even then, there are many places, many pockets where the DMK has had a sway. There are 16 such constituencies where the DMK has not lost in the last 3 elections, even if the tide across the state was against the DMK, which means that it has ground presence and it also has a lot of loyal voters. 16. Now look at the last 2 consecutive victories for the DMK. There are 65 constituencies where the DMK has won in the last 2 elections. So in these regions, the DMK sees a certain loyalty. In Tamil Nadu, voters have shown their loyalty towards either of the Dravidian parties. Is that going to change or not? On one hand, if you have the DMK, there are similar firewall seats for the AIADMK as well. And the numbers are actually much bigger. In 2011, 2016 and 2021, the last 3 elections, the number of seats that the AIADMK has never lost is 38. So now look at the numbers. If we add the 2 together, it becomes over 50. So that's an uphill task for Vijay. Similarly, in the last 2 elections, even though in the last election it was the DMK that won, there are 51 seats where the AIADMK sway continued or the NDA sway continued. So can Vijay actually breach these seats or not?
But
that could be a game changer.
See, the similar phenomenon could be Delhi Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party essentially took all the Congress vote and Congress became 0. BJP's vote share remained the same, if you remember, 2013, 14, 2015 and other elections. So essentially what is going to happen is that Mr. Vijay's party is going to cannibalize DMK's vote. It's not going to touch ADMK's vote.
Okay.
That is, Pratibha, perhaps being a bit wishful. Look, let me give an example of 1989. In 1989, it's I would say a repeat of 1989. When after MGR's death, first election had taken place, Jayalalitha had a lot of Vijay, there were hype and interest and mobilization.
Yes.
And so was a breakaway AIADMK and the Congress. But the party DMK walked away with 2/3 majority because they were able to retain their core voters. So if the baseline vote remains with DMK, this time I think in spite of Vijay, it will be very easy for DMK to retain power.
In fact, one factor that can work against Vijay, one thing that works for him in this comparison with MGR and Jayalalitha is that they were also people from the film industry who left at the height of their career, and that's the same that happened with Vijay as well. The peak of his career, he decided to quit movies and come into politics. So that's something that could work for him.
His debut film flopped actually. I hope that doesn't happen in politics, but in real life it happened.
Okay, I want to bring in Mr. Gandhi from the DMK to weigh in on this. What do you make of all the discussions that are happening around it? And very clearly, it's not just discussions in studios as the DMK has been claiming, because now you have your own allies, the Congress, the DMDK, that has come out to say that Vijay is actually a big factor in the elections.
See, no doubt Vijay has converted a 2-way contest into a 3-way contest. But the fact that the presence of Vijay is helping DMK more than ADMK for 2 reasons. One is Vijay as a third force is absorbing the anti-incumbency votes of DMK, plus also the votes from the weak alliance. The weak alliance is today the ADMK alliance because the ADMK is in its shambles. And BJP does not have any presence in Tamil Nadu. It's a diminishing force. And with this type of alliance, naturally the people from the weak alliance will go for a third force, they're not from a strong alliance. So the presence of Vijay is going to help DMK to a larger extent. But however, we are not dependent upon Vijay helping DMK. We are dependent upon our own welfare policies unveiled by our chief minister, which is like the 1,000 rupee for women, free bus pass, etc., etc. So therefore, Vijay may take some percentage. Say for example, the first-time voters and some women voters. He may take some 15 to 16% votes in the beginning. But comparing Vijay with MGR and Jayalalitha cannot be done for the simple reason. No actor in Tamil Nadu has directly parachuted from movie industry to politics except Vijay. You have to understand that. Because whether it is MGR or Jayalalitha or Karunanidhi, they worked in an established political party with specific ideologies, trained under certain leaders, and then they splitted the parties and formed a new party. MGR
No, you're right. They had a certain they were in politics a little bit. They had some political initiation, and then they entered electoral politics. That's right. For the kind of Dravidian movement that was present as well, it worked for them. But now, don't you think things have changed with the young voters, with the minorities? Is there an actual threat for the DMK with Vijay's entry?
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Because before Vijay, there was Kamal Haasan. Before Kamal Haasan, there was Rajinikanth. These actors directly came from movie to politics, and they couldn't succeed. So Vijay also the same case. He has got a fan frenzy. But these fan frenzy will not convert into votes. As far as minorities are concerned, minorities have a clear ideology and clear thought process. And with that thought process, they know who are the minority savior. Vijay, for example, haven't raised any voice in support of minorities. When people are butchered in Manipur, Vijay was nowhere. So minorities know whom to vote. So in that context, we are not at all worried about the entry of Vijay or Edapadi.
Okay, we just have a few hours to go to actually find out whether the DMK should worry. Shehzad wants to...
I mean, now in a few hours we'll know what is going to happen. But Stalinji, all through the election, said it was a two-way fight between DMK and ADMK. Now today's spokesperson has come and said it was a three-way fight. And secondly, DMK Congress saying that they were a strong alliance. I mean, nobody is going to believe that. I mean, through the entire campaign, Congress was criticizing its own people. Leave alone your alliance. They were criticizing DMK. There was one faction of Manikam Tagore and others criticizing DMK on a daily basis, saying that women's safety is at an all-time low. And look, it is essentially the clash between a common vote bank between Vijay and DMK. Both have common vote bank.
And not to forget that this continues even now. When Rahul Gandhi was in Tamil Nadu, he didn't even mention Stalin. Did that also work
Twitter,
against the
brothers.
DMK alliance? Calling each other brother, and
a
few years earlier there were sweets being exchanged, and then suddenly it all seemed to have changed in 2026. What actually happened, we don't know. But there were clear differences that played out on the ground as well. We have a lot more to talk about, but unfortunately we'll have to wrap it up here because we return with what's happening in Bengal, another interesting fight. What's it going to be? Even the exit polls have not been able to really call it. We talk about what are the biggest factors, biggest constituencies to watch out for after a very quick break. Do stay with us.